Ideal World. Hey, listen, 17 days left until Christmas now. Can you believe it? 17 days. Where's the time gone? Where's it gone? Listen, this is really important. If you're looking for gift ideas, I think we've got them for you. And the great news about this particular show, we're going to be talking plants, but the great news is you're going to find that these are the plants that just keep going and going and going and going and going. No watering, no caring. Because look, you may not be able to tell it right now, but when you take a closer look, you're going to realise that these are actually created with gorgeous silks. These are a silk blend, and the whole idea of these is that you get the beauty of a plant in your home, lounge, bathroom. You can have them outside if you want. They are designed to be outside as well, but you don't have all that responsibility of caring for them. So maybe, just don't have the time. Maybe you're just too darn busy. Or maybe you just feel like the garden looks bare. It doesn't matter what you do. You haven't got green fingers. So I'm just glad to have fingers at the moment. But the fact is, you've got the opportunity to buy a gift idea. And please don't think that they're all large ones like this. We've got little chrysanthemums. We've got a little bit of everything available to you. I'm being told we've got people on the phone and the web. So busy, busy, busy. Now, I need to let you know, this is not the first show. And some of the stock is reduced dramatically. We're talking 50 and less. So it will be first come, first served on some of these. Now, I know from a previous show, this happened to be the most popular. This is called a Japanese maple. Some of you will look at it and say, well, it's a Japanese Acer. Call it what you like. We're calling it the Japanese maple. But can you see the different hues of colour running through it? Very, very lifelike. So you've got those dark velvet reds. You've got that gorgeous tone of that golden bark in the background. It almost looks autumn-like, doesn't it? Now, if you'd like to get the planters as well, they're available on the show. They are separate. So if you're looking at the planters, they are separate. I'll just lift this one up so you can see. The Acer does, in fact, come with a little ceramic pot. So that does come with that smaller pot if you like it. But if you like the idea of putting them into larger containers, then you'll see. So they've all come with some sort of a pot. Even the palm has got a small black pot underneath it. The bamboo has got it. Let me show you the bamboo next. And I'll lift it up so you can see. Just like if you went to the garden centre, that's the sort of pot that you would expect to get, isn't it? And that's exactly what you've got there. Again, very, very realistic looking. And then if you do like the idea of getting a planter for it as well, they're available on the website. There's all different sizes. We've got 20 centimetres, 30 centimetres, 40 centimetres. Obviously, the larger it is, the little more it costs you. And we've even halved the P&P on the show as well. Half price P&P throughout the show. Now, I also want to point out, where possible, we've gone for FlexiPay. You can see you've got 4 flexes on this. $49.99 is your total, but divide that into 4. So $12.50 a payment. But, of course, you've also got the opportunity to enjoy the Open Pay. That's the yellow box. We're in an Open Pay event at the moment. So take advantage of it, and that'll take it down to £10.30. The difference there is if you just want to tick a box or just tell the team on the phone, I want to spread the cost, you go Flexi. If you're happy to fill out a form on our website, only takes you 90 seconds, a minute and a half, then that's what we call Open Pay. And that's because we extend it beyond the 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 payments. So take advantage of it. And so I'm really, really busy now. So go to our website, idealworld.tv, and that's where you'll see the Japanese maple, the palm, the bamboo. There's the planters. You can see we've got square ones. We've got tapered ones. We've got different colours available for you as well. Now, these are clever. Look on the right-hand side. That's chrysanthemums. And they even have a little plastic window. And so you would literally think you've got them from a garden shop or a garden centre or a florist. But you haven't. They're, again, created from that gorgeous silk blend. They're so, so clever. Please don't miss out on this. Now, we've got roses, we've got hydrangeas, we've got carnations, we've got the chrysanthemums. You decide what's best for you. Look how affordable they are. $9.99. $9.99, and it's not like you buy it and it lasts a week. You buy it, and they're going to last you for months and months and months. So I'm glad to tell you that this show, really, really, really important. This is brought to us by Closer to Nature.
Introducing the Closer to Nature range, featuring superior artificial plants, trees, topiaries, flowers, and planters for your home and garden. Expertly crafted to the highest level of botanical accuracy using the finest materials and advanced manufacturing techniques. With realistic lush foliage and colourful flowers, the Closer to Nature range makes the perfect statement in any household, office or entertaining space.
Let me introduce you to Adam. Adam, always great to see you.
You as well, Paul. Been a while. But
This got to be a little unusual for you because you're accustomed to bringing real flowers.
yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, just recently I've been doing the kind of the real plant shows, and the great thing, Paul, that I love about doing the real plant shows is you can always find, and I can always suggest the perfect plant for the perfect situation. If you've got a plant that loves really hot sun, we can supply you one that likes really, really hot sun. If you like a plant that doesn't mind somewhere cool, we can do that. But what if you haven't got the perfect situation? What if you want a plant that likes lots and lots of sun? What if you like a plant that wants lots and lots of warmth and you want to brighten up a cold, drafty spare room, for example? You can't have that plant there. It's not going to thrive. But yes, you can, because what you can do is, Paul, you can choose something like this, which is so close to the real thing.
It is clever,
that you can have that feel, you can have that ambience of real plants, of real flowers in any situation. That is the beauty of having these close to nature, almost real plants.
Can I ask you to start with the Japanese maple? Because again, I did tell you in the previous show, absolutely the most popular, and it's gone ballistic again.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, Paul, because this is absolutely knockout. Now, I plant lots and lots of Japanese acers or Japanese maples in customers' gardens because they are the most incredible, stunning plants. As the name suggests, they originate from Japan. They're used in bonsai gardens, they're used in moss gardens, they're used in Zen gardens, and they are incredibly attractive. Some have red leaves all the way throughout the year, and then they turn even more fiery red in the autumn. But for example, quite often they like shelter positions, they like sort of damp soil. If you've got some ferociously hot sunny garden or some ferociously hot sunny dry windowsill, your acers, your Japanese maples aren't going to survive. Your real ones aren't going to survive, Paul, in that situation. But now, with these incredibly lifelike imitations, you can now enjoy those kind of plants in the positions where they wouldn't normally survive.
And, to jump in, but am I right in saying that I'm sure I read in the notes that it can be inside and outside?
Yeah, you can use these. These are waterproof and they're also UV resistant, so they're not going to fade. They're not going to, and they're a blended silk. There's a sort of an advanced process to make these, an advanced manufacturing process using blended silk to create these.
Clever.
And for me, I mean, I'll just give you a quick bit of my background. I've run my own garden maintenance business for 32 years. Along with my partner John, I've won 4 gold medals at the Chelsea Flower Show, and I've always been an absolute mad plant person. I've lived for plants all my life, so I get to see the details. I get to know, Paul, when something looks real and when something doesn't. And when I'm looking at this, I can tell whoever created this really did engage with a real acer, really does know what a real acer or Japanese maple looks like, because the little fine mass of stems is so typical. Quite often on acers you do get that very congested kind of little stems all growing in between. The delicacy of the leaves, the way the leaves are crimped round the edges, is just a perfect representation of how you would find an acer or a Japanese maple growing in reality. And remember, in reality, you wouldn't want to have that on a hot windowsill if it was a real plant or a drafty position, because the leaves would all shrivel up, they would curl up, it would look sad. This looks, I mean, if I was just another few feet away in the studio and I walked past this, I would think, it's real. Honestly, Paul.
So if somebody's thinking like conservatory, maybe it's a bit bland, hasn't got any flowers in it, they never seem to make it, that could be a great place for it.
That would be absolutely perfect. And I'll show you something else you can do with this as well, because I had a little fiddle around with this before we came on air, and what you can do with this as well, you can augment the branches on this. If you're not happy with the shape, if you want a slightly different shape, watch this branch here. If I wanted to,
wire in them.
Look, I could actually, I mean, obviously you wouldn't have them like that, but what I could do, I could have it going like that, and then I could curve it up like that to give more of a natural shape. So you can literally organise this to what suits you. You may have it against a wall, for example, on a really narrow ledge, so therefore you want to push the ones at the back forward, so you get to enjoy them more. It comes in this wonderful pot here, and what I even like as well, even at the base of the pot, there's this imitation moss that again just gives it that fantastic feel, that fantastic realistic feel.
Can I get you just to tilt that forward?
Absolutely. You can see there, look, you can just see the moss.
Crazy.
And I know that looks real because, again, I mentioned about the fact that I've done the Chelsea Flower Show, and the last couple of times I did the Chelsea Flower Show, worked next to a fantastic Japanese designer. He's won many, many gold medals, and when he finishes his gardens, he always covers the ground in moss. And that is a very typical example of how a real acer would look in reality.
I mean, so this could go this show, so if you're thinking, I like the idea of this, I might go for it, It's a meltdown. It could go this show. If you're thinking, I want it. Item number 646-113. You can get it on the phone or you can get it via the website. In either case, you've got 2 flexes available on it. Means you pay half today, half in a month's time. And by the way, everything comes with a money-back guarantee. So if you want to pop it in your basket and ensure you're 100% satisfied, you feel free to do that. Now, if it's okay, I want to go to the hydrangea because it looks like there's water in the bottom, but I'm presuming there isn't.
That is resin, actually, Tommy. That is incredible. It looks so real that I'd almost be nervous about doing that, actually.
Yeah, don't do it.
But I can. I can do that because I know that is resin. But, I mean, look how incredibly clear that is gin clear, that resin. So it so definitely looks like... There's just no way that looks like anything other than pure H2O. And again, for me, the details of these... Because actually hydrangeas, what you've got, the actual flower, these purple bits or these pink bits, they aren't flowers. They're what's known as bracts. They're actually coloured leaves.
Oh, right.
So
I didn't know that.
The real flower is actually just a little...
They turn all brown, don't they, in the winter, and you leave them on.
But the real flower is actually just a little tiny flower, very much bang in the middle of those bracts. But together, the real flower and those bracts do make hydrangeas a very iconic-looking flower.
Yeah.
I often think if you've been on holiday down to the West Country in Devon and Cornwall, and you see those lovely stone cottages and those chocolate box kind of iconic gardens, you see the hydrangeas growing there. And for me, again, the details of this, I like the fact that they've actually made some of these petals actually droop a little bit, actually wilt a little bit, because that's what hydrangeas do when you pick them and
so
put
if
them
it
in a
was
vase.
perfect, that would be a clue to it's not real.
You know, it just looks so real. And the leaves, the shape of the leaves, I know, I mean, goodness me, I've pruned hundreds of hydrangeas over the years. I've weeded and worked around hundreds of hydrangeas over the years. And I know for a fact that hydrangea leaves most definitely 100% look exactly like that leaf looks there. And even the stem, I mean, the stem inside the vase, you can see even the little nodules on the stem where they've removed the old leaves to put it into the vase. Because, you know, when you have real flowers, they always say take the leaves off, don't they, that go under the water. Well, they've even thought about that.
Modelled the real deal.
Even there, the leaf nodes you can see on the stems going down there. So everything about these...
Can I get you to turn that one around?
Yeah,
so
it's
just more
let's go all the way, incredibly realistic. And I've seen another thing we can do with this as well. I spoke to the supplier, and if you've got a loved one that's away, if you've got a loved one that sadly is always going to be away, you know, somebody you've lost, for example, and you know, perhaps hydrangeas were their flower, or the similar plants we've got were their flower, what you can do with this, if you wanted to, you could take their favourite cologne or perfume, which I'm going to do here, and you could just spritz these over, Paul, with that perfume.
Because they're designed to be inside or outside.
Absolutely, they're waterproof with that house scent. So now, when I pick these up,
I can smell it from here.
Oh, I can actually smell that, and that reminds me, because the thing is, our olfactory senses, our sense of smell brings back more memories than any other sense. So when you combine fragrance with these flowers, you can just bring back a whole lifetime. You can bring back a childhood. You can bring back a special holiday. You can bring back an amazing wedding. You know, these are stories, these flowers. They're not just near to nature, imitating flowers. These are stories, these are enjoyment, these are joy. And I was thinking on the way here, I can think of 1,000 reasons why you can't have certain plants in certain positions, but for me, you know, I can think of just 3 main reasons why you'd have these, and that for me is simplicity, it's colour and it's joy. That's what they bring, Paul.
Well, I'm thinking of things that I bet some of you have experienced this. If you've got a friend that's in hospital, and maybe you can go visit them. Obviously, there's been an unusual year, and we haven't always been able to go to hospital, see friends and family. But even if you were able to visit them, they don't let you take flowers in now because people suffer from allergies. No allergies. Maybe don't spray, don't put the fragrance on, because that could cause an allergy for somebody. But if you just take the plants as they are, then that's a great way for them to have something bright and cheerful and cheering them up whilst they're in hospitals. That's something to really consider. I think as a gift idea for Christmas, come on, you're going to get this gift and they could have that in 5 years, in 10 years' time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could always augment them with other real flowers if you wanted to. Because they're waterproof, you could put other real flowers in there and actually put real water in the vase on top of the resin. The option's yours.
Busier and busier and busier. Once again, you've got 2 flexes on here, so $17.50 today, $17.50 in a month's time. 646-133 is your item number. Maybe that's going to be on your desk. That's the green and the pink one. Maybe that's on your desk, or maybe it's going to go in your bathroom. There's another place where it's nice to bring a little bit of colour, you know, just the loo. And generally a loo might have no windows, or might just have a tiny little window, and here's an opportunity to ensure, even if you forget all about them, and again, if you were to put the fragrance on, that might be a nice way to be an air
just
freshener.
now, I mean, I could just smell that, that cologne coming off those flowers now. So, yeah, it's just sort of brings it all back.
I'm being told we've already got people on the phone and the web for the bamboo. We haven't even been to it yet. So if you go to the website, idealworld.tv, that will give you a chance to get ahead of us, and that's what lots of you are doing. In fact, I can tell you right here, right now, we won't have the chance to get to everything available to you on the show. We won't get to it all. So if you can get to idealworld.tv and look through the website, that will give you a much better chance of seeing it. You decide on chrysanthemums or carnations. We're going to try and get to as much as we can, but we won't get to everything, there's no doubt about it. You've got the chance to do that again, I would say. So let's go to the bamboo. Yeah, the bamboo again. I mean, bamboo, another iconic plant. You think about sort of wonderful tropical, oriental kind of parts of the world where the bamboo grows. We think about pandas, for example, and the great sort of World Wildlife Fund scheme to save pandas over the years. And we can sometimes think about negative things about bamboo. Sometimes bamboos are known for what they call running. You plant a bamboo and it spreads. I've seen bamboo shoots come up under lawns, under people's fences. So what we've got here, we've got something that looks so iconically perfect, so similar to a real living bamboo. And again, what I like is, I love the fact, Paul, that when people create near-to-nature plants as real looking as this, they have obviously gone out in the field. They've obviously been passionate like me. They obviously understand plants like me. And I'm saying that because on the end of these leaves, if we can just focus right in, you see on the end of these leaves, there's actually little brown tips on the end of the leaves. That is what bamboos do. Naturally, bamboos, when they blow about in the wind, sometimes the tips of the leaves get slightly damaged and they slightly discolour. So they've even put kind of some of the, if you like, some of the slightly... And it's not on all of them, is it?
No, it's on some of them. So they've even put some of the slightly negative things on there, because if that was absolutely perfectly verdant green and there wasn't a blemish on there, it wouldn't look like a real bamboo. It would look artificial. Again, you can see here, you can see the junctions here on the stems, where you can see the details of the stem growing up. That again makes it look so realistic. And if I lift this out the pot and I'll tilt it forward towards you, in fact I'll bring it right forward and I'll just balance this on my knee. Again, you can see the moss. There's moss in the bottom of the pot there, which you can see. So I'm just going to pop this back in here, and remember, we've got some of these pots available for you as well. This bamboo looks fabulously elegant in this 20 centimetre or 30 centimetre tapered black basalt pot. But again, with these, you can augment them. If you want this branch to come down more, you can make that come down more. If you want to move it up more, you can move it up more. But
so there's wire inside those?
There's wire inside those, and again, they're the blended silk, they're UV resistant, they're waterproof.
So inside, outside again?
Inside, outside. So even if you live 4 or 5 floors up and you've just got a balcony, you can now have a bamboo that looks real. You could put that bamboo, Paul, in a planter and put other real plants around it. If you want bamboo in the garden but you're terrified of bamboo running rampant and spreading under the fence and coming up under the paving, again, you can use this.
I know a nice place for these, next to your hot tub. If you've got a hot tub, especially in the winter, if you've got a hot tub, have you ever been in it in the winter when it's snowing? It's brilliant.
It would look amazing.
So much fun.
And if you want to create a tropical looking bathroom, I've got a really fabulous friend, and she had her house extended, but unfortunately it meant that the bathroom ended up being in the centre of the house. So there's no natural light, there's only artificial light. Well, obviously a living house plant would not survive in there very, very long.
Needs a light.
Something like this in the corner of the bathroom with perhaps some of the hydrangeas, for example, would just lift that space, would create that wonderful feel to that bathroom, and you can have the feel of living plants. You can have that sense of nature, of birds singing, of bees buzzing, of all that atmosphere in your home with these plants, because they don't need light, they don't need water, they don't need fertilising, they just need an occasional dust or a wash down, and you can enjoy them forever and ever.
And if you are somebody that is accustomed to going out buying flowers week after week after week after week, even if it's only, you're saying, oh, £10 a week, but it's worth it because we love the flowers, hey, that's great, but that's £40 a month. That's what, 480 quid a year. So suddenly you think, hey, $49.99, job done. All I've got to do is wipe the dust off every now and again. So brilliant value for money. And because we've got the OpenPay and the FlexiPay, that OpenPay is particularly good if you're going to go and mix. So if you're thinking, I will get the bamboo, but I want to get a palm as well, I want to get the Japanese ace, I want some of the hydrangeas, don't forget we've got lots more to show you yet. But if you start mixing and building your basket, then that's even more reason for you to use the Open Pay. And that's just a matter of filling out a form on our website. Take about 90 seconds, a minute and a half to do that. Now, I'm being told to remind you of the Japanese maple. Over 50% of that has already gone. I'm being told there's very, very likely that could sell out this show. Top tip, go to our website, ideaworld.tv. You can see everything that's available to you. There's way more on the website than we'll be able to get to during the show. So if you're thinking, I'm really liking these, this is pretty cool, we've got some really impressive chrysanthemums coming your way. But before we do that, let's just remind you a little bit about the brand. This is called Closer to Nature.
Introducing the Closer to Nature range, featuring superior artificial plants, trees, topiaries, flowers, and planters for your home and garden. Expertly crafted to the highest level of botanical accuracy using the finest materials and advanced manufacturing techniques. With realistic lush foliage and colourful flowers, the Closer to Nature range makes the perfect statement in any household, office or entertaining space.
Again, lots of you getting ahead of us right now, which is fantastic. The palm is busy. Can we do the palm next? Are you happy to do that
well,
next?
The palm's right next to you, Paul, and this is the Kentia palm. I always call this the king of palms, and if you've ever been into a garden centre to buy a real Kentia palm, oh my goodness me, you don't want to get your wallet out because they can be 60, 70, 80, 90 pounds.
So even £45 is a good deal.
And they always say, I mean, I've been gardening for I've been gardening since I was about 6 and I'm now 55 years of age. And I have tried, with my green fingers, with all my credentials, I have bought Kentia palms because they always say, oh, they do really well in low light levels. And I've found every time my Kentia palm looks amazing the day I put it into the shady bit.
Right.
After a few weeks, some of the leaves start to go a bit yellow. After a few more weeks, the ends start to go brown. And I've found normally after 6 months, that 80, 90 pound Kentia palm just looks really
Which
sad.
is understandable, because think of it, it's got to be a tropical plant, really.
It is, and sometimes it's not so much a shade issue, it's the dryness of our homes with central heating.
Oh, because they're used to being in the tropics.
Because they're used to humidity.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've given up on having Kentia palms. They are easily the most elegant houseplant of all, because they always kind of allude to those when you see those Victorian sort of programmes and sort of Downton Abbey and things like that, and you always see that gorgeous palm in the corner of the room in one of those huge, great big China sort of jardinières or something like that. They were the kind of palms that they loved. They had much colder homes. They had more humid homes, so they thrived. So if you want to enjoy a Kentia palm, but you don't want to have all those disadvantages, if you want to buy a palm that you know is not going to die, that is not going to degrade, that is not going to look awful 6 months down the road, well, now you've got, again, Paul, that reality of this. And even the coir here on the stem, all the loose coir, that is a natural adaptation that palms have when the new growth comes through. It protects the new shoots before they come through and has other protective uses on there. And you can see there it's multi-stemmed. From a distance, you would not know that the ribs, it kind of, if I pull that leaf down, look how it's glistening. You can even see the shine, you can see the sheen on those leaves. That is the sheen that palms naturally have. And look, you can see the midrib. Look at the midrib of the leaves. On each individual leaf, you can see the midrib running down. That is perfect detail there of what you'd expect. Paul, on your side there, you can probably pull that leaf down. That leaf there, if you pull that down, you can actually get that to stay down to where you want it to go.
Right.
There you go. So if you let go of that now, look, that has now dropped down.
Because the wire inside it.
So you can augment it to whatever shape you want. And even, I'm going to just stand up, because even if I actually feel like I'm doing the normal gardening show today, because these are so real. I actually feel like I'm talking about a real palm to you. Again, if we just take the leaves aside, and even sort of looking into the middle here, you can see the actual shoot in the middle. That would be a new leaf that was coming on a palm. And even at the tip of the palm, they've put a slight split in the bud at the top there, and they've got little nodules running down the side of the bud. Well, again, I can tell you from experience, that is the detail that a palm has. I've seen some like that where they put those leaves in the middle, and they're just smooth. They're just smooth, non-characteristic shoots that don't look realistic. Every detail on this plant just makes it look incredibly realistic. Even the fact that the leaves are dull underneath.
And is this what designed to be outside as well?
Yeah, you can have all of these. They're waterproof.
That's
you can
amazing.
have them indoors. You can have them outdoors. So even today, when I drove in today, it was -1. So if you've got a patio or a balcony or anywhere outside or a porch and you want to have that tropical look, and I always say, never listen to what anyone else tells you. If you want to have a tropical look on your balcony this time of year, you know what? It's your garden, it's your damn space. You do what you want with it. You have a palm and you make it look tropical if you want to. And with these you can, because even if it's wet, even if it's windy, even if it's frosty, even if it's in a fully sunny position, because they're also UV resistant, they're not going to fade. So you can have all the advantages of that Areca palm. And for that one investment, you know from now until kingdom come that you are going to have this palm always looking as brilliant as that. And why not, if you want to, have it in the middle of a planter and then in the summer put other real plants around it. The choice is yours, because you can bury. I'll bring them out and just show you. I actually spoke to the supplier.
Well, that's the pot. That's the pot. We're going to show you the pot that they are coming with. That's what will come with it. Just like if you went to a garden centre and bought one brand new, that's what you'd expect it to be in.
And you can bury these in the ground. You can
perfect.
You can
Leave it in the pot.
Leave it in the pot, and you can actually put that into the ground if you wanted to, because again, it's all waterproof. It's not going to rot. It's not going to corrode. So with these plants, the world is your oyster. You can now put perfect plants in imperfect situations.
That's the dream come true, really, isn't it? So sometimes we have an idea, and we think, well, will it work, won't it work? Then you might go and read about it. Does it like to be in the sunlight, or doesn't it? Does it like to be in the heat, or doesn't it? Does it like to be in the shade, or doesn't it? As Adam says, this can be whatever you want it to be. This can be inside. This can be the attic if you want. It really doesn't matter. So you could have it in the window in the front of the house where it's really, really, really hot, and it's always way too hot for other plants. I mean, maybe you're looking at the roses beside me thinking, these look beautiful. It's all about you deciding what's best for you. Maybe you're thinking some colour in the bedroom, or the bathroom might be ideal. You've got the opportunity to choose what's best for your home, or what's best for somebody as a gift idea, or for somebody that perhaps is ill and in hospital or in a home, and you can take them something that they can remember time and time and time again. Now, don't forget, we've got all sorts of planters available on the website as well. I'm being told, let's go back to the bamboo, because it's gone crazy since we talked about it.
I'm going to lift it right out as well, and I'm going to put it bang there in front of me, because I just want you to see it, kind of just literally standing there. I'm hidden behind it. That gives you an idea. I'll stand up, and it gives you an idea of the size. This is about 1 metre high, this actual plant. But again, now, I mean, if I just move it around, you can see all the detail there, and you can even see the way the studio lights, again, are shining through the stem. I like the way they've made some of the stem translucent. It's not a solid colour, so the light shines through it.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you move this, it even sounds like a bamboo. So if you've got this outside on a breezy day, honestly, nobody would know this wasn't a real bamboo pole. I mean, it really is incredible quality, UV resistant, water resistant, and now you can have all the advantages, all the joy of a bamboo, but without any of the worries or any of the hassle.
Can you imagine? Perfect bamboo every day of the week, every month of the year. Every year. That's the beauty of it. Now, you may have noticed some of the pots or the planters, so let's just share some of those with you right now. We've got the grey one right here. If it gets smaller, smaller, smaller toward the base, and we call that tapered. That's the easiest way to find them. And we've got some that we call the box.
Yeah, so you can have the actual tapered ones, the 30 centimetres. You can have those in the grey, or you can have these in the graphite black. These are galvanised as well.
Nice.
So they're not going to rust, they're not going to rot, they're not going to corrode. You can use them indoors and outdoors. You could use them for other things outside if you wanted to. Obviously, if you're going to use them outside for any length of time, I would suggest putting drainage holes in the bottom. Because even though these obviously don't need water in, you don't really want water sitting there all the time.
Filling it up.
And obviously, if you're having real plants, you need the drainage. But yeah, I mean, again, these look so high end. These look so, so top end to me, and I love the elegance of the shape there, that tapered shape. Those colours, grey is so in at the moment. Such a popular
everywhere,
colour.
isn't it?
We've got a grey fireplace behind as well, and it just matches the fireplace so nicely.
I've got a neighbour that they're double glazing the UPVC. That's grey.
Yeah,
it's just everywhere
well,
now.
I live in a new bungalow in Swaffham, and again, that's all grey. Yeah, they've gone for grey now. Yeah, the white has gone now. Now we're doing grey. The black is good here as well, because it's such a shiny, reflective surface. You can even see the reef kind of reflecting in that. Also in the black, if you wanted to, we've got some square ones.
Yeah,
we've got 30 centimetre square ones, and we've got 40 centimetre square ones in the black as well, if you want to go for some larger square sizes.
Yeah. Yeah.
My personal preference is the tapered shape, but like I say, at the end of the day, never be bullied into being told what you have in your garden space. If you want square, you have square. If you want tapered, you have tapered. Don't let anyone else tell you. It's your choice.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on the surroundings, doesn't it? You might find that everything's square, so you want to break away from that and go tapered. Other people are going to look at it and go, well, everything's square. I need something else that's square. So it's all about personal preference. The easiest way to know the size is, they do list the size on the website, but you'll notice the prices are incrementally going up. So if you think, how come that one's bigger than that or it's more money than that one? It will be the size. So it's really, really easy to understand that. Now, don't forget you've got the opportunity to spread the cost of everything. You can go for FlexiPay. That's just ticking a box on the website or telling the team on the phone you'd like it. But if you go to the website, you can fill out a form, and that will get you OpenPay, which means you can spread the cost now up to 5 payments. In fact, we'll go all the way up to 7. The more you spend, the further you can spread the cost. So can we take a moment to talk about the roses?
Yeah, what I'm going to do first, Paul, is I'm just going to walk around the back of my chair because round here...
Oh, you've got one?
Yeah, we've got the white rose. And what I'm going to do initially for you, I'm just going to actually, when we come back in a moment, I'm actually just going to park the white rose, which is about 4 foot tall, behind the seat. So you can see here, we have got a rose here of really great height. And the reason I sort of parked it behind this chair is because you've got a couple of chairs in a corner, for example.